Today we're going to talk about common law marriage, and specifically in Kentucky. Kentucky common law marriage is we're going to discuss what you think versus what actually is true. This is a podcast with divorce after 50. My name is Shari Frasure and I'm a specialist in real estate transitions. I am not an attorney nor am I giving legal advice. Understanding common law marriage, and this is what we're going to cover today: what common law marriage really means, what Kentucky actually recognizes, why this matters, especially after 50, and what you can do to protect yourself. What people think it is versus what it actually is. What people think is that if you live together for a certain period of time, I think commonly I hear 11 years together, if you share a life together and you act like a married couple. This began at a time when marriages were frequently informal and often went unrecorded, particularly in early communities. They may have had a ceremony, but there was actually no license. And it's only if it specifically meets the requirements. The characteristics of common law marriage is that if you live together for a significant period, like I said, the exact duration does vary by jurisdiction or state. If you intend to be married, both of you are acting like you were married, but you just never formally declared it, and you present yourself to be married to your family and friends and the community. There's no license, and so the government registration is not required, and there's no ceremony that's formal or official. Again, it has to meet the strict legal standards. Formal versus common, again, it's just the formal marriage. There's a license, there's usually a ceremony, and there's clear legal proof. Common law marriage is there's no paperwork, and it must be proven later if you do have legal situations, and it can be legally complicated. Kentucky laws on common law marriage. Here's the truth in Kentucky. Kentucky does not allow new common law marriages. It hasn't recognized them for a very long time. And you must have a legal marriage ceremony and license. Out of state common law marriage recognition. The only exception is if it's valid in a state where common law is recognized, like Colorado or Texas, and they may recognize it or they may not, but it must again meet that state's legal requirements. This gets complicated because the courts have to determine, was there really a legal marriage? Does it meet another state's rules? And this can become complex and case specific. The implications, especially after divorce, is implications for divorce after 50 and what this means. Here's where it matters most. If there is no legal marriage, you may not be able to file for divorce. You may not have spousal rights, and you may not have legal protection. Everything depends on the legal status. What could be at risk is a home that you have helped pay for, your retirement accounts, your shared assets, and then without a legal marriage, ownership matters more than intention. Financial impact means that spousal support and pension rights typically depend on legal marriage. Without it, protections may not apply. So some practical guidance. If this is your situation, you need to verify, don't assume, but verify that it's in your name, that you do have shared legal documents, and you have protected yourself financially. The steps to protect yourself is to make sure you're on the deed, have written agreements, contracts that are filed, and you should create a will or trust, and you should talk to a qualified attorney to make sure that all legal documents are legal and binding. Some practical help for older adults in Kentucky: there's legal assistance and resources. You can seek an experienced family law attorney that's familiar with Kentucky's treatment of common law marriage. There are some legal aid organizations, and the state bar can help you locate somebody um, that charges on a sliding scale or low cost. Some of the recommended resources is the Kentucky Bar Association for a referral. There is local legal aid, senior legal services for eligibility screening. There's court self-help centers for forms and filing basics, and the mediation and counseling referrals for conflict reduction. There's also emotional and practical support. There's reputable support groups that help you to manage the stress and decision fatigue and to keep a simple folder of key documents, finances, housing, healthcare, to streamline attorney intake and court steps that will help you on your legal fees. So, in conclusion, divorce after 50, just know that Kentucky's approach is that they treat common law marriage, so you know how to set your own expectations, and if you do become separated in later life, and how to protect your rights. The practical steps support stronger outcomes on asset support and other key divorce decisions. And the definitions and eligibility, there's clear legal definitions and criteria that would reduce your confusion, the status and rights, and your responsibilities. And you can get legal guidance. Professional counsel helps you make informed choices and navigate complex transitions with confidence. If you want to get to hear other episodes of Divorce After 50, just go to this QR code and it'll take you right to my podcast. Thanks for watching. This is Shari Frasure with Divorce After 50.